call, hello, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone over well. I am not a member. However, I've entered into their labors, peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters, students, wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. Just kind of bear with me. I don't know, whenever the weather changes, man, constant headaches, sniffing, and all that other stuff. Sinuses be acting up. But, this isn't meant to be very long here. I'm going to let this, or not the full 4 minutes, it's kind of long, but we will get what we need to get from it. Get a couple of precepts, and that'll be it. Precepts, and that will be it. But the title will be something along the lines of, he's always been this way, or ever since the garden, right? And, you know, like I said, we'll get our precepts and add commentary, and that'll be it.
Like, now that America has launched an unjustified war against Iran, there's no more hiding behind fake patriotism. And I saw a video the other day that wasn't necessarily discussing this, but really kind of put into words what I had been trying to say for a while. So there is a study on the epigenetics of the mental DNA associated with the descendants of former slaves. Basically what they're saying is your DNA carries epigenetic trauma from 400 years of slavery. And the counterpoint was, if this type of trauma can mutate mental genetics for the descendants of former slaves, how come they're not studying the mental mutated genetics of the slave owners? Because when you look at the heinous shit,
first of all, that would never get funded,
that colonizers do. Israel is a bunch of colonizers. The United States is colonizers. Western Europe is colonizers, right? You don't see that type of behavior anywhere else in the world, and a perfect example of such is the fucking war with Iran, okay? They propagandize Americans to believe that Iranians, or most people in the Middle East, like, live in tents and ride camels, and they're fucking savages who just want to blow themselves up so they can get 70 virgins, right? This is the Islamophobic narrative they paint of these people to justify stealing their resources or overthrowing and reinstalling their government anytime they want access to said resources, right? And when
manufactured consent, they need that manufactured consent, which is why you have Libya, the war in Afghanistan, the war in Iraq, and very recently they tried to manufacture consent with an issue, or should I say with some sort of operation in California, but since E is being made bare, we'll get that too. There's not much that's going to be hidden from the people, and according to prophecy, you know, the Lord is going to pretty much just force his hand for him to just really show his true colors and turn all that hate and that mental regression and underdeveloped brainness, all that anger, they're going to turn it right inward. Okay, this place is going to eat itself. That is how he sets up his systems. And you think, being superior, they would learn from past mistakes, right? Or learn from other civilizations, but they're going out again the same way they went out before in, you know, the Greco-Roman period. But instead of being pushed into caves, they'll be pushed into slavery. And if any of them possibly believe that, you'd imagine how hard they would fight to maintain this pseudo paradise that they have here, which brings the question, or no, I'm sorry, not question, which brings the scripture in Revelation where it tells you that this devil, he will come down with great wrath because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. But before, there's a couple of, I guess we need to get that too. But I'm going to go ahead and read Psalms 58:3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. So when you try to reason, or when you try to appeal to humanity, to somebody that is devoid of it, you get a deaf adder that stoppeth the ear. And now Genesis 3, all right, and this is milk. This is fundamental. Because the serpent, then Cain, serpent, then Cain, and then Eve. All right, and that spirit has been with them. That is who they are. And that is how you explain this level of hate. There's no amount of carnality or some sort of secular study that can be done to explain the hate that they have, especially towards the children of Israel, right, the sons of Jacob. It has to be spiritually explained, right? Spiritual matters are understood spiritually, carnal and fleshly things are understood carnally or fleshly, as Paul writes. I believe that's in we'll have to get that. Okay, so I got a couple of them on the back burner. We're going to have to grab all of those before we let her finish. All right. So Genesis 3 at the top. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which Yahweh power had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh has said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it. Okay, and then the serpent goes on to his beguiling tactics, his very smooth tongue, right? His words are as smooth as butter, but war was in his heart. And it has always been that way. You can even read, and we'll get that as well. What did I say? Revelation, is it 2 and 12 or 12 and 2? We'll see. The only difference is now you have this unicorn, this high-speed internet where you get information from around the world in milliseconds. You pull something up and type it in, boom. Let's see. Is it 2 and 10? 2 and 12? No, this is the church. Maybe it's 12. Maybe it's 12 and 2. Nope. Gosh, where is it? Coming down with great wrath because he knew that he had but a short time. It could even be at the top. All right, let's see. Yep, behold, he coming with clouds. Yep, I'm Alpha and Omega. Yes, you are. Call hello, Yahweh, brush me outside. Gosh, I don't know where it's at. Okay. Maccabees 7:27 through 30. Okay, but let's see. Coming down with it's 10, 12 and 12. Dang, all right, I was in there. I was in the ballpark, man. Dang, I could not think of it. Revelation 12 and 12. Okay, straight to the point here. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. But, right, there's a semicolon there. Change. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for this devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time, right? He was only given that little season. Okay, according to Revelation 20, he was given that little season to go out and deceive the nations. But as it's coming to a close, their deception and the things that used to easily work, they could just say he's got weapons, of mass destruction, or he's doing things to his people, or he's a dictator and they need democracy. That democracy comes with a heavy price, and the people are seeing it now. Nobody wants this wine of Babylon. Nobody wants to drink it. Not even their NATO and EU partners. All right, further pushing into the fulfillment where the beast, which is the different NATO and EU nations, and they hate the whore, which is Babylon, will turn on her. And this is coming from somebody who's been in and who's been to do multinational and joint operations. For some reason, America always gets its interest handled first, and then everybody else is expected to just fall in line. And even down to the lowest level of people with the boots on the ground, they see it and they're tired of it. And this was 10, 15 years ago. Okay? What else did I say? I knew I should have made a note. Okay, so let's let her go ahead and oh yeah, we had our Maccabees 7, but let's let her get a little further in. All right, because this one I said, what is it, 4 minutes? It's about 4.5 minutes. So let me let her get a little bit farther in, and then we'll stop it probably in the next minute or so.
When you see the way that Americans and Israelis are behaving in this war, you're like, there's something fundamentally fucking wrong with the brains and genetics of fucking colonizers. And the audacity to call themselves a superior race. It's batshit fucking insane. But like, America and Israel is bombing fucking $8 plastic decoys for boats. Hand-painted jets on a fucking tarmac, okay? They're bombing schools. They're bombing residential buildings. They're bombing hospitals, playgrounds. They are intentionally causing as many civilian casualties as possible, whereas Iran is attacking infrastructure. They're strategic. They're precision-like. They're attacking oil refineries, water supplies. Every single military base that existed in the Middle East has practically been attacked or evacuated for fear of being attacked. They're kicking the colonizers out of the Middle East. They're forming in solidarity with other Middle Eastern countries, declaring that if you don't kick the United States out of your country, they fucking will.
Right, and the least of the flock is drawing them out. You're watching this thing progress in real time. Drawing everybody out, even bringing the entire Ishmaelite world together, even with their differences in their sects, S-E-C-T, or iterations of whatever they deal with Islam, right? But he's and that's they've made their money, they staked their claim over there in Western Asia or Asia Minor by capitalizing on the differences of these different people. These different nations, these different tribes, all right, villages or whatever, what have you. They've capitalized on that. That is what they do. Divide and conquer. And, you know, she calls them colonizer, but, you know, their proper, I mean, that could just be code for E or Esau, Edom, Idumea, Basra. Just as Israel's a people before is a place, so is Basra. Basra is the capital. It's there, so wherever they're at is Basra. Dang, it won't play.
They're playing chess, and America is playing this violent, apparently disgusting game of murder children checkers. It's atypical colonizer behavior, and that is why Iran is going to win this war. They are crippling.
Maybe, yeah, but on a carnal standpoint, yeah, they would probably more than likely. But this is all about a dollar. Who's trading oil in whose currency? All right, so Iran did make a statement, and they said they will open it up if you trade in Chinese yuan. And what this is kind of off subject, but something definitely to think about. This could be the precursor of how, the CHIP is implemented or mandatory. And then maybe Babylon betrays, not maybe, they will sign a treaty. If they were to sign a treaty about, some sort of digital currency, some universal digital currency, all right, and that way it's fair for everybody, Babylon will renege, all right, if that was to happen, because they don't keep treaties. Okay, look at it. And that's why I say she's going to say, have we always been this effed up? Something along those lines, or is it just recently? And it's always been that way. History can tell you. Children have never been safe around them, and statistically, even to this day, children are not safe around them, or animals for that matter. Everything done to the Native American, our cousins, right? Our Northern Kingdom brothers. Sorry, not cousins. All of the treaties they broke with them. Everything that, they said that they would give to these different nations, they renege, and they leave these other nations high and dry. What else did I say? Jeremiah. Let me go to Jeremiah 49. I've made Esau because I said that, so I need to get it. Jeremiah, I think it's 49. My head is killing me, so Salakia, bear with me. I'm trying to get through this as for lack of a better term, as professionally as possible. So if I take some pauses in between, please, forgive me. All right. Let's see. I have made. Let me read 7 concerning Edom. Thus saith the Lord of hosts: Is wisdom no more in Teman? No, it is not. You can see that plain as day. Is counsel perished from the prudent? It has. Is their wisdom vanished? It absolutely has. Not only has their wisdom vanished, but the Lord has not allowed them, their spells, their their monthly prognosticators, right? None of their witchery and their warlock and any of that weird magic they were able to do in times past, where people just fell for the okie doke. And you look back on it now and you're like, damn, how could I have been so dumb? Divine intervention. That's how. Because these people are not impressive. They are none of the things that they claim to be. What they are is everything they project onto everyone else. And the most recent thing is when Petey was talking about how the Iranian leaders were hiding in like caves and underground like little rats. That's what they do. Every time they run and they hail any type of accusation, just know it is them projecting. Anyway, this is Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. He shall not be able to hide himself, right? And he can't. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not.
In the American dollar, they are strategic in their attacks. They're not going after civilian casualties and carnage, where the United States and Israel are like, yeah, I just don't give a fuck how many babies they kill, and that even includes American babies. President Trump is on national television losing a fucking war. Iran is carpet bombing the fuck out of Israel. They've gotten almost every American base in the fucking Middle East, okay? And President Trump is like, we're going to put boots on the ground. He wants to send 500,000. That's how many American soldiers it would take to occupy Iran. 500,000. And although we may have it, they're going to get fucking massacred.
Right, so I don't even understand. Okay, so where would those troops go? And here's the thing, again, is there wisdom in teaming? How can they put boots on the ground? Where are they going to land? You think Iran is going to let you just land right there? Where would it have to be? Lebanon? Maybe? Is that why they're bombing Lebanon, trying to take that as a fob? Who knows? But how? And in provisions, ammo. Eventually, you run out. You run out of ammo. You run out of food. Batteries on communication devices die. Insanity. 500,000 people. And I'm like, if you're an anime watcher, you know, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. If you have not seen that, you need to. And I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers trying to make Philosopher's Stones. That's why they sending everybody. That's why they just bomb indiscriminately. Women, children, anything, hospitals. In U.S. and is not Real. They are tied. They are linked. Same people. And you can tell because they do the same tactics. This is Maccabees 7. And I'll just get an example of betrayal, right? Within the scriptures, because you can just type in anything in Google and find all kinds of I'm doubling back on treaties and betrayals among people that he has done. All right, 7 and 27. Now Nicanor, okay, the king sent Nicanor to deal with the Levites in Jerusalem who were fighting for the honor, for our heritage, for our nation, right? Because they did not want to put away Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai and worship, these lowercase g's, these lowercase gods. Okay, so that's where that's also where you get Hanukkah from. But I'm going to keep going here. So Judas was a thorn in the side of these Greeks. So they can never do anything upright. They can never do it man to man, fair and square. So let's go ahead and read 1 Maccabees 7. We're starting here at 27. I just gave you the backstory, the backdrop. So Nicanor came to Jerusalem with a great force, and sent unto Judas and his brethren deceitfully with friendly words, saying, Let there be no battle between me and you. I will come up with a few men, that I may see you in peace. He came therefore to Judas, and they saluted one another peaceably. Howbeit the enemies were prepared to take away Judas by violence. All right, which things after it was known to Judas, to wit, that he came unto him with deceit, and he was sore afraid of him, and would see his face no more. All right, so Nicanor also, when he saw that his counsel was discovered, went out to fight against Judas, besides Kaphra Salama. But there's been a couple occasions that you can read through in the scriptures, and then of course there's innumerable instances on their words being smooth as butter, but war being in their hearts. From Cain, or from the serpent to Cain to Eve, that spirit has always been in them. And just because they seem, your everyday average Joe Schmo seems nice, take something from them. Let something in societal order fail, and they have to exercise some sort of morality. Watch that be void or devoid. So I think that point has been made. I get back in here to this plantation. But anyway, I pray that you are edified, and be ye circumspect. All right, because the issues that we see, like going on in Cuba and going on across the pond, those things they'll be here. All right, chaos has yet to hit the shores of America. Right, this virgin daughter will not be a virgin for long. And watch your neighbor. Just pay attention. You'll see. All the more reason you hold on to the names, hold on to your faith. Pray that the Lord doesn't take it. Pray that He doesn't take your belief. Pray that His Spirit remains on you, because we could be cast out at any time and left, to the fate of whatever goes on after the lights go out, or after some sort of societal collapse or mishap, however it happens. I wouldn't want to be left to that, and I'm sure you don't either. Right? If you're smart. So be circumspect. Continue to pray. Fast when you need to fast. Fight those plagues in your mind. Whatever demons are trying to jump in your mind and send you a different direction. All right, you don't want to lean to the right, and you don't want to lean to the left. You want to walk on that straight and narrow. Do what you got to do. Pray without ceasing. The scriptures tell you that. You got the answers in the book. Open book test. All right, and of course I am preaching to self as well.